We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. Wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is sign of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh yeah, people of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh yeah.
What's that, Master? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. Even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually, they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, will come back for you, and we'll know where we can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian. If you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adama, oh well and good. There's no problem.
Onye si na akata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị nne n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị pụta anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọbụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha gaa n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọhịa nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị agha ka isi ekwu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe dịtụ ozu ọgbọgọwa mgbe emilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememiri Fero site otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị bi obi ka o wee taa akọkọ igiri ụtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ n'okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this program. Wherever you are joining from, please like and share the program. Share to your neighbors, share to friends. Let us exchange views once again this evening. Let us share information among ourselves. Let us once again encourage each other this evening as we always have been doing. As you join us, like and share the program. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. A lot of things are happening, and we have to continue to shine light on those information so that they don't escape you. It is possible that we might not be able to cover everything. A lot of things are happening. There are so many things that happen that we do not capture, but we have to keep on reminding ourselves of where we are coming from and where we are. So today, this evening, we have come once again, as we always do, to speak about issues that concern us as Biafran people. No matter how difficult or how hard it is, we will never give up. Wherever you are watching, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Kabiama, do not give up. When you remember our leaders who are in captivity today, our leaders who have fought this battle and today they are in captivity, because of them, you don't have to relax. Because of them, you don't have to give up. Because of them, you must continue to stand strong. Our Supreme Lamazin Nandekano, that you all know, fought a very great battle and continue to fight up to today. And our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, also have fought a very great battle and continue to fight. Mazi Simon Ekpa must be remembered at all times. He's a man who has given every single thing that need to be given for his own people. Mazi Simon Ekpa gave everything. Everything. He did not keep anything back. He gave everything for you and I. But how do we pay him back? Today, some of us are fighting Mazi Simon Ekpa directly and indirectly. Some of us today are trying to make sure that the name of Mazi Simon Ekpa is swept under the carpet. Some of you are making me trying every possible way to see that, but I bet you he will never be forgotten, no matter how they try. We still have some of us that love him with all our hearts and sincerely, and we will continue to put him in the front line. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, don't forget that there was a man who gave everything for you and I. There are men that have given it all. Mazin Nandekano is there in detention in Nigeria. And Mazi Samuelpa is here in detention in Nigeria, in Finland. And we must not forget this man who has given everything for you and I. The little thing we can do is to keep their legacy going, to keep their memory and make sure they are not forgotten. That is the least you can do for them. There is nothing you can do for them. At least this job that they started, we must keep it going. That is the least every one of us should do. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how you have been offended, no matter how you have been insulted, when you remember the people that are in the front line making the ultimate sacrifice, you will shield your soul and you'll be patient, believing that in due time, everything is going to work out for the good of Chukwukabiam. Chukwukabiam have placed us on a situation where we must continue to pay attention to what is going on. So if you are out there and you are forgetting yourself, if you are out there and you are forgetting your responsibility as a Biafran, because of what somebody is saying, because of what somebody has done, you are creating chaos. You are not helping yourself. You are not helping yourself. The battle is for you and I. We are part of the battle and we need to fight it and fight it to the last until we win. There is no going back. In this Biafra agitation, there is no going back. There is nothing like, oh, it is too much, we can't do it again. There is nothing like that. Just as I always say, there is no second option. The only option we have in this cause is to continue to pursue the cause of Biafra. That is why, even in the most difficult time, we are still here and we are talking. That is why, in the most difficult time, we are still here and we are saying what we have to say. So every one of us, we must continue to do what we have to do. Continue to do what we have to do. The battle is not easy. I know that. I'm not coming here to tell you that it is easy. The people that are even suffering most are the genuine ones. If you are genuine, you will feel the pain more than any other person. The genuine ones are the ones who are facing the challenge more than any other person. So prepare yourself. There is going to be a tough time ahead, tough day ahead. And our Prime Minister warned us ahead of time. So there's nothing you will see today that will be strange to you or you say you haven't seen it before. Very difficult days are still coming ahead. I pray that Chukwu Abiyama will give us the strength to overcome. Before I go into the discussion of the day, I want us to listen to this very video. When we listen to this video, it's going to take us back to where we are coming from. It's going to take us back to memory lane. You will see the zeal in our Prime Minister, what he has suffered and what he has gone through, that he even went to the extent of sharing tears where he was trying to explain what he has gone through. This is one of the very emotional video made by our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa on the first convention. Each time I watch this video, I get emotional. Each time I watch this video, it reminds me of what our Prime Minister has to face. Each time I watch this video, it reminds me that Mazi Simon Ekpa knew that what is happening today will happen. When I watch this video, he tells me that Mazi Simon Ekpa knows the challenge ahead. He knows, and he continued. He didn't run away. He didn't say, oh, it is too much. When you listen to him carefully in this video, you will understand that he knows very well what is coming, but still he stood his ground. He didn't give up. I want us to listen to this very video once again before we go into the program for today. Let us pay attention to what he has to say.
Because you understand what is going on better than anyone else. You have to go with me. Since the time we met me to this point, are you believing me? Mr. Kenya is the Secretary of the EFM. Well, the afternoon, I'm going to make an official speech, which is an address. Just want to welcome every one of you to Finland. This is the man that everybody wants to listen.
Prime Minister Mazisa Manipa in a very emotional speech that he made during the first convention. You can see how emotional he was and the love that was shown to him. Today, he is not here with us. How many of us are still showing this love? How many people among the people who are here clapping for Mazisa Monepa are still today showing him love? How many today still remember to talk about him? How many today still remember that this man has given it all for us? No matter what happened, we must continue and we will never give up. So this evening we are talking about Nigerian biggest truth. Igbos are not the problem. We are not the problem of Nigeria. We have never been the problem of Nigeria. But Nigeria, every time they try to paint us to be the problem, the whole world knows that we are not the problem of Nigeria. The entire world knows. That is why Nigeria today, everywhere they go, they are disgraced because they refuse to embrace the truth. The Nigerian people rejected light and they embraced darkness. The Igbo people are the light in Nigeria. I am not saying this out of pride. I'm not saying this out of any to denigrate other people, but it is the truth, it is a fact. And the reason today Nigeria is nosediving and will continue to nosedive is because they have refused to embrace the truth. They have rejected the truth and they accept lies. And I bet you the only thing that is going to save Nigeria is to allow Biafrans to go. But as long as they continue to hold Biafrans ransom into Nigeria, as soon as they continue to hold, as long as they continue to hold us captive in Nigeria, Nigeria will be hell on earth. Their disgrace is just coming. They haven't seen nothing yet. Anywhere they go, they will be disgraced. Any place they put their head, they will be disappointed. Biafra is the only way, and there's no other two ways about it. You can't beat it. No matter how you try, you cannot beat it. Because the people you are talking about, we know what we want. The unity of Nigeria is what we have preached. From amalgamation till date, we have always tried to make it work. But it has proven that Nigeria is not workable. If Nigeria will work, the Igbos will make it work. If Nigeria will work, the Igbos will make it work. Remember, every day they say, any place you go, you don't see an Igbo man, life doesn't exist there. And when you see Nigeria rejecting the Igbos, what they are telling you is that they don't want light. When you see how Nigeria have pushed Igbos aside, what it means that they have rejected light and what they want is darkness, and darkness will consume them. Darkness is going to consume Nigeria in such a way that it will be irredeemable. The truth remains that Igbos are the light. And the cause of Biafra is divine. The cause of Biafra is divine. You cannot hold us ransom. You can't hold us captive. No matter how you try. Because the time has come. We shall overcome. The enemies are fighting here and there. The enemies are coming from all angles. The enemies are penetrating from all corners. But we will never allow them to succeed. They can try for as much as they like, but we are going to overcome them. Nigeria is not for you. Nigeria is not for me. Nigeria is not for anybody that is from the old southeastern region, the present southeast, lower Kogi and lower Benue. Nigeria is not for you. And the earlier you realize that, the better for you. The earlier you realize that Nigeria is not for you, neither is it for me, the better for all of us. Igbos are not the problem of Nigeria, but Nigeria is the problem of the Igbos. But we thank Chukwu that finally, the solution has come. The solution has come, and what is that solution? What is that solution? The solution is the disintegration of Nigeria. It is going to happen, whether you like it or you don't like it. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. That is why today we are seeing so many warnings from all corners, from all angles. And I bet you, anyone that is standing against us or standing against the cause of Biafra will never know peace. Whoever they are using, it doesn't matter who you are. If you give yourself as a willing tool to be used against the Biafrans, you are going to suffer the consequence of your action. You will suffer. Anyone that allows him or herself to be used will suffer. You will suffer. Don't say you didn't know. Don't say you did that some mistake. It doesn't matter. As long as you give yourself as a willing tool, standing against the freedom of the people, you are going to suffer the consequence of your action. Is it going to happen? Oh, yeah, very. More especially those of us that are Biafra, you are from the old southeastern region and you're fighting the freedom of the Biafra people. You are working against the freedom of the people. You are from the old southeastern region and you're working against the freedom of the people. You will never be forgiven, no matter who you are. You will never, ever be forgiven. And I bet you, you will never be forgiven. Chukwu Okikabia will not forgive you. You will suffer here on earth and after. We must be free. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we must be free. They can continue to push their propaganda and their blackmail. We must be free. And freedom we must have. My fellow Biafrans, this evening I'm going to play some video that we need to pay attention to. I want us to listen to this video. It has a message which I believe is important to listen to. So I want us to listen to the message that comes with this video. It comes with a very important message. And I feel it is important that the Biafrans listen to this very message. It is very important. Pay attention to this message that I'm about to play. It has a very important information that concerns every one of us. And I want you to pay attention. Listen to what this bishop has to say. And then we will go forward from here.
Mmadụ ọbụla bụ onye Igbo na-achụ ụmụaka Igbo na-eme ha ụra gara anya. Ọ gaghị adịghị na mma n'eke, ọ gaghị adịghị na mma n'oge, ọ gaghị adịghị na mma n'afọ, ọ gaghị adịghị na mma na nkwụ. Gọvanọ ọbụla aka ya dị na ihe na-eme Igbo, gọvanọ ọbụla nọ n'ala Igbo na-emegide nwa afọ Igbo ọbụla, gọvanọ ọbụla nọ n'ala Igbo na-ere ụmụ Igbo, na-ere ụmụnne ya, eresi ndị Awụsa, eresi ndị Fulani. Ọ gaghị adịghị na mma n'eke, ọ gaghị adịghị na mma n'oge, ọ gaghị adịghị na mma n'afọ, ọ gaghị adịghị na mma na nkwụ. Gọvanọ ọbụla o metara ndị Fulani n'obodo ya na-amọlesti ndị Igbo, achọghị ụmụaka Igbo nke a na-akpọ ọgwụ ijele ka ọ bụ ijele, na-achọ ka ha bụrụsisi ya kpọrọ ndị Fulani kpọbata n'ala Igbo. Ibe na Naijiria, ala Igbo bụ the most peaceful place to be. Kpọrọ ndị Fulani kpọbata ka a na-achụ ndị ejentojawu na ọzọjawu ọzọjawu na ndị otie. Ebusisi ụmụaka Igbo anyị achụ ụmụaka na-enweghị ha mere ka enwe ike keleghe these boys ka ndị Fulani nwezi ike bata bịa busisi ndị Igbo. Ego ole ka a kwụrụ gị? Ego ole ka e nyere gị? Listen, the authority bestowed on me as a spiritual man, as a high spiritual man, me onye mbijeju ese. Get ka ngwa gị, I am not a pastor. I'm not a pastor, but I was born a prophet, and from my childhood till now, I hit the road one week and the preaching and then. But became I am a bishop, and I'm not going. Maybe I have one free governor. I'm not going to you have a staff. Come to you. You are going to charge the Igbo. Na-agba ndị Igbo okwu, na-achụgharị ndị Igbo, iji ha gbụsịa ha, na Fulani bata take over, Hausa bata take over. Na nwata ego ọbụla nyere gị, gị na ezinụlọ gị, ọ gaghị adị ndụ mmadụ ike. Achị ala Igbo, ihe mbili megide unu. Ihe nnu ma aga ikpe. Ịsa mmiri bụ oge agha. Ihe ọkụ bụ oge. Ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'ike, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'oge, ọ gaghị adịrị gị mma n'afọ, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'afọ. Ọ gaghị adịrị ụmụ gị na mma n'ike, ọ gaghị adịrị ha na mma n'ori, ọ gaghị adịrị ha mma n'afọ, ọ gaghị adịrị ha mma n'afọ. Nke bụ mmadụ nwaanyị mụrụ na-eteki advantage of our daughters before enye ha ọrụ. Ịbụ gọvanọ, o nwere gafe ya Dave Umahi, nwa ụmụarụ na-ebe akwa na o ji ọba 300 million or 400 million. Ọ na-arị ya ọjọjụ nwaanyị ọsite nwa ma ọ bịa dị na ya nwaanyị asị ya dị mara dị woman ya ga-emetu ahụ ya ga-eme ya ga-ego ya iju na ị ga-enye ego ya iju na ị ga-enye nwaanyị ego ya iju na ị gaghị enye nwaanyị ego ya. A sị gị na aja ala Igbo a ga-ego gị izu ike, Chukwu okike abịa ama a ga-ego gị izu ike, Jehova kere eluigwe na elu ụwa a ga-ego gị izu ike. Mmiri ga-ebuga agha, mmanụ ga-ebuga agha, anyanwụ ga-ebuga agha, kpakpando ga-ebuga agha. Nye nchi polisi na-achụgharị nwaanyị a, gịnị ka nwaanyị a mere? Gịnị ka nwaanyị a mere? Jee mee udo with that woman. Jee mee udo with that woman. Ọ bụrụ na imego otu a, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'eke, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'oge, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'afọ, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'afọ. Mmadụ ọbụla bụ onye Igbo na-emegide ndị Igbo maọbụ na-emegide ụmụ Igbo n'ụdị na ụdị ọbụla, ma nke na-akọtụ shishọp ndị mmadụ na Anambra steeti bụ shishọp ndị mmadụ. Ọ bụrụ na i chegharịghị taa, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'eke, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'oge, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma n'afọ, ọ gaghị adịrị gị na mma na nkwụ. Ọ tụrụ iche mezie ihe imebi na shọp ndị mmadụ na Anambra steeti. Ndị niile tinyere aka megide this boy Chidozie Nwangwu akwa ọgọ tiwara gị, aga m asọpọt ndị na-agba ọgwụ ọjọọ. I have never in my life checked my ana m criticize ihe ọbụla ihe ọjọọ. My level as a Christian leader, my level as a Christian leader, I'm not going to many battle man fought for like Christianity. Akwa ọgọ tiwara gị ife mere ya bụ anyị. O nweghị ihe ọjọọ ahịa dị na ya. Emego m investigation, make research, make call. I have calls of prominent people, both governors, senators, my sons, many of them. So I have been calling them, including this one, this governor, whatever they. I have also called, I have spoken with many of them, and I have called many judges and discovered that there were here many of them. Ndị ụmụnne ya adị ndị ọba mmadụ ịnọ, bilonias ọba mmadụ ịnọ, aka ha dị n'ebe ọ nọ. Ke obere nwa nwoke a ga-eji nwu jiri ga And I'm off and I say I'm off at the hour. Because so that's address in Doba. The boy will go address in Doba. You will go. If I made a boy by you, and you go away for some for sick tests, that they end up our grandmother in the yard. The children are only one grandmother in there. And I get back good here. It just 11 months distance. They make it die off. But I'm very little bit of a Igbo. And I think people look at us and I don't think that I'm watching a single guy. Whenever I see that kind of idea, Papa, some work to that. Okay, I think I'm money. 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 Yeah, but you don't follow what will be a large magic. You see? You see? You see? I live with a gentleman. You see? Each other that's one people. Kibansi na mbali nwata na-asụ dị ọbara ọkpọchi ndị mmụọ ka ọ na-asụ maka mgbe ihe ga-emere oge n'oyi mmụta ọfịs ijele onye ahụ nke nwere ikpara iri so mkpara na onye igbo yes so that was a very wonderful message delivered and prayer answered, and we say he say to that prayer he made, he say onye ọwụna na support ajọ ife in any way, in any manner you are involved in evil. Ajifa here sorry. You can't escape it. I say, he say to the prayer. So let us listen to another information that was delivered by one sister again. Another video of interest. Let's listen and hear.
God bless you all, dearly beloved brothers and sisters in Christ. If you are staying in Kano, Sabongari, any Christian vicinity, please, I want you to be very careful. So I woke up to a voice note and a video on my phone concerning these people that they are planning an attack. I don't know how true that is, but let's not sweep it under the carpet and let's not take it as though it is a joke. It will not be nice that I did not call your attention to this, especially our Igbo brothers, our Igbo sisters staying in Sabongari, those staying in Christian communities. You are doing business there. Please be careful. I want you to watch this video and listen to the voice note. I'm also using this opportunity to call on the security agencies in Kano State. Please and please help us, sir. Help us, ma'am, to look out for our people. Make sure that this demonic plan is not carried out. May the Lord protect our people. May the Lord protect everyone. May the Lord protect each and every one of us in the name of Jesus. Please listen to this video.
On Friday kaɗan zo na gida saboda za a yi zanga-zanga. To kar wani abu ya faru saboda ko mu ma ba lalle ba ne mu zo kasuwa. So ka samu ka zauna ka gaya wa friends ka dan zo na gida after free haka mutum ya ji gari normal sai ya fita.
You have heard it. That video you saw playing there, and the person who was talking on that video and cursing, where they were showing our people who are doing their businesses. What that man is saying there is that they are going to slaughter all the Igbos who are trading there. He is abusing and cursing. That video you saw that was playing, this very one, What the person on that background is saying is that he is covering the places where our people are doing business. You see, he holds his video, he's just videoing them, and he's doing it so that they will not know that he's videoing them. You see the way he's holding the video. He's recording the places where our people are doing business in the north. So if you're in the northern part of Nigeria or you have a friend or brother in the northern part of Nigeria, tell them to be very careful. And in the warning, they talked about Friday. You must have to be very careful, more especially on their Friday Juma prayer. Before you go out, you listen and find out what is happening or any information before you go out. They mentioned Friday. We don't know the Friday is going to be, but it might definitely be on a Friday. So if you are living in the northern part of Nigeria, you are doing business in the northern part of Nigeria, you must be very careful. This is an Hausa man. This is a Fulani man that is recording this. A Fulani man is the one recording this video where our people, spying where our people are many, where they are doing their businesses, and he is cursing, abusing them and say that he's going to cut all of their neck, that they're going to come to cut them. They are going to come here to butcher all of them, abusing and insulting them. And information came that they are planning to come and do this on a Friday. So if you have any brother, any sister in the northern part of Nigeria, Kano to be precise, the one that mentioned Sabongari, that woman mentioned Sabongeri. If you are in Sabongeri, you be very careful. Not only in Sabongeri, Kano, many other states have their Sabongeri. Any place where there are majority settlement of the Christians, more especially the Igbos, major settlements of the Igbos, you must be very careful if you are living in the north. This is not the time to beg anybody to come back home. We have talked about coming back when we spoke about it. We have preached it when we preach it. Now, any place you are, you must defend yourself. Once we see information, the only thing we owe you is to share that information. What you do with the information is absolutely your business. But the only thing that concerns us here is when we see something, we say something. So as information is coming, we will be sharing it. We cannot hide anything away. We will always share the information. Then it's left for you what you do with the information that is coming. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, we have come again today. And this evening, we are going to go back to their media to look on some things that they are saying in their media. The disgrace the Nigerian went and faced in Al Jazeera, Buala case is still going on, and Buala have come to bring his own defense. He brought his own defense of his stupidity. He tried to defend his idiocy and stupidity, but you know that it is not adding up. So we are going to try to play this very presentation from Arise TV so that we can go through it on their media informations, the update they have, and then that will be all for the day. Let us hear what Arise reporters have here.
Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending with the most talked about story on social media over the weekend, generating significant reactions across Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's special advisor on policy communication, Daniel Bwala, was caught in a web of lies on Al Jazeera's head-to-head program hosted by Mehdi Hassan in an episode titled Nigeria, Renewed Hope or Hopelessness. Hassan presented Bwala with his own statements from 2023 when he was a spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar, including allegations of corruption, vote buying via bullion banks, militia creation, and death threats from Tinubu's camp. Well, Bwala flatly denied making any of the allegations. Well, Al Jazeera released the edited version of the interview with complete archival clips of Daniel Bwala alleging that Tinubu created a militia to influence his votes and that he received death threats from Tinubu's camp. Let's take a look.
Tinubu is one of the foremost politicians in Nigerian history.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words, Daniel?
Tinubu has helped in strengthening democracy in
Tinubu
Nigeria.
and his people created a militia, Daniel. Who said those words?
Who brought in leadership
I'll ask the third time.
to governance.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words?
Tinubu and his people never created a militia.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that. And the candidate of all progressive conference, that's what Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we are seeing a political party creating a militant arm leading to election.
Does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
We've seen violence in Nigeria, and I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that. There is also this threat to life, and I can tell you that because I myself have received threats from Asiwaju and his camp.
You said it was so corrupt, the 2023 election, Tinubu's win. You said that you couldn't eat food for 3 days.
I never said that. Where? And legitimate complaints were raised all over Nigeria. That part is what threw me off balance. In fact, I became so sick. For the past 3 days, I found it very hard eating food.
Tinubu is not just super rich. It's what he does with his wealth. In 2019, 2 armored money trucks, bullion vans, were seen going into his house, coming out of his house. Where did that money go?
No. Point. Did you see the money? Or those who reported didn't see money inside the bullion van?
Was there no money in the bullion vans?
How am I to know?
You said it was money in the vans at the time. 2023, February.
But there's only one person in Nigeria who is alleged to have moved money through bullion vans, and that person is on their ballot as the presidential candidate.
On the eve of the presidential elections, 2 cash-laden bullion vans, your words, were seen on the premises, which was ostensibly for vote buying. Your words, January 2023. Have you just disowned everything you said in order to work for this president?
What you just said now, I want to put it on record on my own honor. That's not what I said.
Well, in a post-interview statement, Wala accused Hassan of opposition research-style journalism, insisting his earlier remarks were simply the job of opposition. And I'll read Daniel Wala's statement in part. He wrote, "When I signed on the privileged job granted to me by Mr. President, I was well aware of its implications. Selling ice cream, looking fine, and seeking the praises of men were never part of it. Some of the fiercest critics of my interview cannot even stand local TV anchors, but the task of promoting and defending the president and his administration is what I do with ease and joy. Head to head contacted me requesting an interview, stating that they wanted to challenge our government on security, the economy, and corruption. Nowhere in our almost 6 months of communication did they mention that they were going to challenge my past. If that had been their plan, ethically and professionally, they were supposed to inform me so I could prepare my response. But that's okay. Ethically, that's on them, not on me. I refuse to swallow the pill of Madi's opposition research-style journalism. And even today, if you carefully compare what he read as quotes from organizations and groups, you will see that many were inaccurate and some were outright fake news. But I will leave that for another day. As for what I said about President Tinubu in the past, I am glad those were things I said when I was in the opposition, saddled with such zeal. It is all politics. Half of Donald Trump's cabinet is made up of people who once spoke against him. And quite a number of people in our own cabinet also spoke against President Tinubu in the past. Those things do not bother him if you care to know. Of course, Rufai, you know that Nigerians are not buying it. And, social media has made sure of that. The clips are damning. And the phrase, "I never said that," is now a punchline across the country. And I'll take Gray's tweet. He wrote, "Daniel Wala, this isn't a press statement. It is a confession of moral bankruptcy. By saying your past attacks on Tinubu were just politics, you admit you were either a liar then or you are a hired gun now. Which is it? Principles aren't a jacket you change because the weather in the State House is nicer. You're upset Mehdi Hassan didn't warn you. He bring up your own words, bro. An intellectual doesn't need a script to defend his character unless that character is a fiction. We already know your 2027 script. When this administration ends, you'll be back on TV saying, I was just doing my job, while pivoting to the next bidder. You aren't defending the government, you are defending your paycheck. You didn't go to head to represent Nigeria. You went there to audition for a man whose values loyalty over truth. You claim you have brave defense, but all we saw was a man drowning in his own archives. And this is another post on X from George, I believe he's from Ghana. He wrote, I watched this interview of the Nigerian politician with Mehdi Hassan on Al Jazeera, and all I can say is sorry to our Nigerian friends. I know African politics can be shameless, but Nigerian politicians seem to be beyond shameless. I sincerely can't imagine how they must feel watching that interview. Well, you know what? Daniel Bwala has now released a clip which fact checks key moments from the interview, debunking some of Hassan's claims as well as on Nigeria. Let's take a look.
Nigeria is a proud, sovereign, independent nation, a powerhouse in Africa. So why did you just let Donald Trump and the United States bomb your country on Christmas Day?
The United States government did not bomb our country. The decision by the US government was anchored on the intelligence sharing between Nigeria and the United States and the agreement on the operation.
You have a history of not hitting terrorists and hitting civilians. You know that, right? Your country.
I'm not aware.
Well, on December 21st, the Nigerian Air Force said that they handed over compensation to people who were hit in an accidental airstrike on Christmas Day 2024. Do you just bomb every Christmas?
When and when?
Christmas Day 2024 and Christmas Day 2025.
I dispute that fact.
We'll take it up with the Nigerian Air Force. President Tinubu said in August, there is no more corruption in Nigeria. That's a ridiculous thing to say, is it not?
We investigated a case of corruption, not just in the defense, but anywhere in government. This administration has had lots of people who are in government, either sacked or investigated and been prosecuted. The resolve of our administration in dealing with corruption is obvious.
Why did you say there's no more corruption?
You probably read him out of context.
No, I didn't.
No, I read exactly what he said. How can someone just stand and say there is no corruption in Nigeria?
It is getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy and no more corruption. Full stop, close quote.
Good. So this is the context.
The reform that have embarked upon that took over in Nigeria has been very impactful. I beat my chest for that. It was initially painful, but today the result is blood. It's getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy, no more corruption.
This is terrorist scum,
right?
And every camp got decimated. But a lot of investigative reporting on the ground shows that few, if any, combatants were killed. Some bombs landed in empty fields. A local leader in one of the districts said the same militants we knew are still there, loitering around our communities.
No, there were killings of terrorists.
That's not what local leaders.
So I can call local television that testify. Arise News did, Channels Television did.
To ISIS and other terror groups in the Sahel. It is to eliminate these terrorists that the United States fired several missiles at Tangaza on Christmas Day. These exclusive drone images taken after the strike show the terrorists varying hideouts in Kawuri and Dam and Amalgamation. Both communities have been condoned by security operatives who are presently undertaking clearance operations within the vicinity.
Our export production capacity has gone up. Our naira is strengthened. We have provided opportunities for families who could not afford to send their kids to school to access grant and go and have their education, cost of fee, tuition fee, as well as the cost of.
You mentioned school. 20,000 schools in Nigeria have been shut in the last few months because of these kidnapping.
You remember it was a senator. So the Deloitte said they have no record of the man working. That's not the right thing.
When you fact check, Deloitte denied that they said he never worked for them.
The Deloitte. What should they do? That's an accounting firm. 2022, my record, outstanding record, I got to the pinnacle of my career. And the private sector, who among them can brag about?
All right, Rufai, over to you.
See, I don't have anything against people doing their job when I'm in opposition. But what you're going to do with facts. The problem with Boala is there lots of embellishments while I was in opposition. And when you do embellishments, when they say eat your word back, because those words are not based on facts, then you start to run away from them. An instance, do you know that Frank Tribal issued a statement yesterday as regards the Tinubu wanted youth militia to hurt or stay, death threats on my life? Frank Tribal said that when he was in their campaign, Boala did say that they should issue that statement, spinning it, and they told him that they don't want the political theatrics before he still finally went ahead to say it. That was not based on facts. As regards the Deloitte one, Mehdi was quoting was a response to a subpoena. I can read it for you, for sake of empirical facts. And, okay. So, however, in response to a subpoena around September 2022 seeking blah, 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 Deloitte responded in a letter, September 2022, saying that we have no records, that the president is in our system, and as such, we have no employment records for them. Because Boala came back to fact check him and said it was wrong. Thirdly, like I said, maybe he didn't even do his job well, because there was so much. How will he explain, even if he lived Tinubu 30 years, nothing will work? Then he goes on and on and on and on like that. And that's why I see how people like doing opposition. Stick to the facts. Empirical facts. And the question also, and that's why I'm not surprised. You see, because, and I don't like it to be about myself, but when he came here that day, this was the same question we posed at him. That's all the supporters were deceiving him and saying, yes, he answered the fire back. Because we said you have no integrity. But these were the things you said. And now you're saying it's in opposition. Politics does not mean you that. So does it mean that you were telling porkies to the people, you were telling those things too? This was the same you that came out to say, Tinubu didn't do anything in Lagos, he collected a tax. The last point I want to make, based on all this fact checking, because that video, the verbatim point that he made, there was no corruption. Yes, they were able to now, because it was a day after, they now retracted by saying there was a contest to the matter, that they were talking about the oil sector, no corruption in the oil sector. Let's even press it for that, no corruption in the oil sector. Wasn't the regulator in the oil sector sacked because Dangote, the player in the oil sector, brought about allegations that he funded school of his children above his pay grade? Till today, they killed that Farouk case. No investigation, nothing, because it's been taken away. So when you say, oh, the context was there was no corruption in the oil sector, what was that? So you see, all of these things just shows that we should be careful. We should be able to have a strong level of conviction about that. Voila, is my friend and my brother. Some say yes, we don't agree on many things today. You get tomorrow, I will keep speaking on my side, we may agree on some things, we'll still talk again. All right. But for the interest, when you are doing opposition, do it and stick to the facts. Because you see in life, those that you are quickly this, that, you might still come back. And that's what I was saying the last week. That this one, that some people are saying, opposition will not hear. You forget that the person in opposition yesterday can be your ally too. Who will ever have thought that El-Rufai and Peter will be in the same camp?
All right. Dr. Abati, you're a spokesman to former President Goodluck Jonathan. I'd like for you to share with us some of your thoughts on the saga that unfolded over the weekend.
Okay, the first thing is, as a spokesperson, it's not every platform that you go to. You choose your platform wisely. In this particular case, I think there is an error of judgment on the part of Daniel Boala. He said the negotiation about the interview took about 6 months, and he was told he was going to address specific subjects about the performance of the Tinubu administration, with specific emphasis on security, poverty, and corruption. But then he got there and he was ambushed. Okay, now that excuse does not wash. If he had been following the program stated by anchored by Mehdi Hassan, you will know that it's a very biased, conflicted, controversial anchor. People say it is style, but some people will say, well, it's by journalism. If we check his history, you see that he tends to turn his guests into a straw person. He tries to lie by omission, and he tries to intimidate you. Now, some people will say it's style, but it looks like bad journalism because this inquisitorial approach. Once you already have an opinion about the subject, why invite the guest? You might as well stay on the screen and express all opinions yourself. He has had issues with regard to abortion, with regard to LGBTQ communities, with regard to Gaza, with regard to his mischaracterization of Muslims. And so he himself is as controversial as anybody else can be. Now, if you know that this is a character of the...
You can imagine, just like you are a very bad character in this very Arise TV, you are the worst character here. In that very interview that man did now, it is only you that have seen it, that man is a controversial, he has bad journalism. There is nobody that has bad journalism like you, Ruben Abati. You see, when he started his own, he began to condemn the man. Because the man trashed his government of his brother and exposed them. Ruben Abati is not happy. Look at him, how you want to discredit the man. The man that did an excellent interview, telling you exactly what you said. What is bad in it? What is bad in it? And this idiot Abati will open his mouth to condemn and destroy the reputation of the man just because of his own selfish interest. But you are here in your studio every day. You are promoting evil in your studio. You are promoting a drug baron. Is your brother not a drug baron? Is Trubu not a fraudster? Is there anything that guy said that was a lie? You think it is Nigerian local news where they will write script and tell you what to say and what not to say? That was an international stage. And everybody, the guy did not start his program today. They wanted to go there and sell your brother Trubu. And instead of selling your brother Trubu, they buy Bese. You couldn't take it. You come here, you want to carry the image. If there is anybody that is conducting bad journalism, it is you, Abati. Very tribalistic idiot.
Uncle, we are not duty bound to go there. There are many people who say, no, this particular...
Of course, corrupt Nigeria cannot go there.
Because of his offensive journalism.
It is not offensive journalism.
So, he made himself...
You are the one that has offensive journalism. This idiot who came to studio and you abused the entire Igbo nation. You lied against the Igbo nation that we don't send land to anybody. That we don't sell land to people. And they told you to apologize. You were fighting your fellow presenter in the studio. Is that a good journalism? Is that a good journalism that you come on national TV every time you are fighting against tribalistic, fighting against the Igbos? Up to the extent of coming to lie on national TV and say that we don't sell land. And you were asked to apologize. You say you will not apologize. Is that a good journalism? Idiot. You have the mouth because your brother government have been disgraced. Because your government have been disgraced, the people you serve have been disgraced. You want to tarnish the image. If there is anybody that has bad, it is you. Only those that doesn't listen to your program will listen to this nonsense you are saying. Rufai has made a better explanation. And once Rufai has made an explanation, we know you will come with your gibberish words. And nobody cares about that.
And be talking about context half of the time. The anchor didn't even allow him to speak.
Why would he allow him to speak?
You will not go to that channel to go and talk. The second thing, I hope you will learn his lesson. It's also that the internet never forgets.
No, it forgets.
If you say you were in the opposition, you said certain things about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, something that is even known to everybody in Nigeria, anybody who can just fact check anything. You don't then go there and say, I never said that. I never said that. If you said it, own up to it. Yes. You don't need to say it is a contest. So the manner of his response is also something, that has infuriated people and that has given opportunity to persons who have been critical of his work with the Tinubu administration, with his lack of consistency, with his lack of principle. It is what has given them the ammunition to say, well, this is this is the thing about Daniel Gwala. But he has collected the embarrassment with his chest. I hope he has learned his lessons. In his commentary, he didn't say he has learned any lessons. He needs to learn certain lessons about that job and to make sure that he doesn't make that kind of mistake in the future. However, I think the Nigerian media is also part of the problem. We create these people. Any government that comes around that wants to speak on television, you invite them, you give them platform because you are also looking for this, and then they become
That is it.
Whatever they want.
The same way people are creating Udele now.
And then they turn around.
You are creating Udele.
The right signal.
You bring Udele and call him a journalist.
So yes, we are supposed to be local TV. So, we won't take out of the blame. The media in Nigeria must learn, to choose wisely also in terms of the kind of people you give your platforms to and that you iconize. When they go to international TV, those ones, who also have biases, who have prejudices, as maybe as Sam showed clearly, the word I would like to use would be racist, but I don't think I want to go that far. Then they get exposed because they don't have respect for you. But here in Nigeria, we tend to pamper people. Anybody who knows next to nothing, who wants to talk, you put the microphone in their mouth and they suddenly become superstars.
No, but it's content. It's content.
It's content.
It's not context. It is content. It's content. We need content. All right.
Thank you for teaching me.
Daniel Walla has taught us context. But he went on to thank, Mehdi Hassan, saying that, he also praised him, saying that he's a good journalist in that statement that he went. Well, Ayo, you saw that he brought out, a fact-checking video, to say that Mehdi is, biased as well. Are your thoughts on the saga?
Let me just take a sip of water. Let me just say that very simple people, that was an international embarrassment. Whatever the reason was, it was an international embarrassment. And for someone who is supposed to be or is the special advisor to the president and a spokesperson for the president of Nigeria, the Nigeria of Africa, that was a very poor outing, particularly because a few things out there. And I think this interview has made us see that we are beginning to redefine politics and what should be the standard of politics, whereby opposition is who can lie the best. Opposition politics is said to be, let's sweep it under the carpet because while he was doing all that, he was in opposition, so he was allowed to say anything. There's nothing around, a well-done research to challenge fact for fact. It's about personalities, insulting persons, which we decried during the last election cycle, where you keep attacking the person and you leave the issues. And that's what we keep talking about, that the standards have fallen. And that's why I said it was a representation of what the standards are currently. Then the reason why it also thrives, OJ, is because there are no consequences. Sometimes some people who have spoken like this and press carpeted have been rewarded with an ambassadorial position. So if you talk like this, just make sure that you get to the good side at the end of the day and you'll be all clear. That is not the kind of politics we should be pushing for in Nigeria of today. And just to mention that this is also a case for those people who would die on the line for certain political parties. At the end of the day, they will go and bring somebody from the other party who insulted them, who denigrated them, and let them come and take on positions. And that's why there's discontent among some of the strong followers of a particular party, because they're saying that we stayed with you in the trenches. We didn't say all these bad words against you, but yet we didn't get any reward, in quotes, political appointment. It is those who were open enough to insult you that have come now and are taking up all these positions and come up. Is the president saying that there was nobody who was faithful during his presidential campaign, who didn't say any of these things about him that could have been his spokesperson? Why did he have to go and meet somebody who spoke about things that he can no longer defend post-election? That's what we're talking about. Lack of integrity, lack of consequence. It's quite a shame for the state of our politics in Nigeria, and that's not how we should be defining it. Opposition politics is not a cesspit of lies and deceit. We should still have some form of integrity in our nation, despite how bad we think our politics is.
May the soul of Onopasa continue to rest. These were some of the concerns of Onopasa.
Yeah.
Today, I remember him. I honor his memory. We might never be on the same side of the argument.
Okay.
But these are some of the things he pointed out before he passed.
Right.
People like Onopasa that worked and that came here, how are they rewarded?
Those are the questions. I mean, we have dealt with this story at length. I mean, this is an abridged version of what's trending today. We had a lot of stories to take, but I believe, we have run out of time. We're going to bring those stories tomorrow, including, of course, our champion, Ugochukwu, the good news report. My son. We're going to bring the champion.
That is what we have to be doing. As you have seen, the disgrace of Nigeria can no longer be hidden. It can be hidden, no matter how they pretend. The more they pretend, the more their disgrace is being exposed. The more they pretend, the more they have been exposed. So we will continue to show the world what it looks like to be in the zoological republic. We cannot allow them to continue to push this their propaganda and lies. And for as much as we can, we will continue to say it the way it is. We will continue to say it the way it is. So let us hear what they have to say on this one.
In periods of insecurity in its history, with soldiers being killed, women and children abducted, and communities razed to the ground across the Northeast, a new and disturbing video has emerged on social media that takes the horror to a whole new level. The footage shows what appears to be dozens of children and young teenagers dressed in Nigerian army camouflage uniforms, helmets, and boots, performing military drills. The young recruits, many in oversized, ill-fitting uniforms, are lined up in formation. The post sharing the video alleges the uniforms belong to slain Nigerian soldiers.
You can imagine what they are recruiting in Nigeria. Boko Haram is recruiting children. Boko Haram is preparing a new set of warriors, children, in Nigeria. These are the people they say they are repenting. They are integrating. They are integrating and repenting, and they are building a young soldiers, child soldiers.
This is heartbreaking to see. These are children dressed in uniforms reportedly belonging to Nigerian soldiers, presumably killed in battle. This image alone should shake every Nigerian to their core. Commentators have linked the footage to Boko Haram's long-documented practice of forcibly recruiting children, with some pointing to the Amalgamation street child system in northern Nigeria as a key recruitment tool for terrorist groups. Well, research shows the children in the video are from the Ngoshe axis of Goza local government area of Borno State, which recently saw the kidnapping of 100 women and children. Well, Borno State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Zuwaria Gambo, has stated that these may well be children abducted during the state's recent attacks. Young boys torn from their families, stripped from their innocence, and handed the uniforms of fallen Nigerian soldiers. This is not just a security crisis. It is a humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in plain sight, a stark reminder that the fight against insurgency in the Northeast is far from over. And we also saw, a troubling video last week showing a group of young boys holding large guns slung across their backs. The video shared on X shows the children standing alongside suspected terrorists in full military gear, with the boys appearing as young as 9 or 10 years old. The footage has shocked many Nigerians on social media, raising serious questions about how these weapons were obtained and what children so young are doing in the company of armed militants. Meanwhile, controversial cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has indicted the federal government in a recent interview, saying that the government officials and security forces are not only aware of terrorist hideouts, but know the terrorists by name. Let's take a look.
The government knows every terrorist by name and by location.
I don't go alone. I don't go to the terrorists alone. I call the police, I call the security, everybody. I will go to the areas, another place. And for when we went to one terrorist, I went to even with women with me. Into the bush. The women, you didn't see them because the camera was not concentrated on it. I don't go alone.
Gumi has repeatedly called for dialogue with terrorists, and in this interview, he reiterated that peace talks are the only way forward, while also calling out the military for mismanaging what he described as trillions of Nigeria's defense budget. Sheikh Gumi has never been shy about speaking his mind, but for many Nigerians, the more pressing question is this: if the government truly knows every terrorist by name, why are communities still being razed to the ground? Before I take more security topics, I'd like your analysis, starting from the children that we saw in that video. A shocking video of these children wearing very sad, and that's a big issue this morning. This is our future, and this is the price of war that we often perhaps don't look at or talk about. Let me start from the end, and I'll go back. There's a handover protocol between the Nigerian military and UNICEF, whereby rescued children like this are not treated like criminals, but they're treated as victims of war, especially those who, whether through kidnapping by insurgents, are now made, compelled, forced, many times against their will, to fight in this manner. And so there's a handover protocol in place for that, to say and repeatedly say that these boys, look at their faces, are victims of war. Now, this is why we keep on calling for urgent attention to be paid to tackling insecurity, and why we keep asking questions as to the whereabouts or the release of these people who are kidnapped, especially when we see young children like that. Because if not, beyond the funding of terrorism, is that when we kidnap these people, we're going to recycle and have these young, innocent children being indoctrinated or pushed into a life of criminality against their will. No Nigerian child should be involved in combat. We are signed to the Child's Rights of 2003. We have the Child's Rights of 2003. We are signed to the United Nations Conventions on the Rights of a Child. And so every child's right ought to be protected. If we don't get the insurgents, we will continue to see cases like this. This is why there's a continuous push for the soul of our future, because this is our future here. If we're not talking about children being out of school, if we're not talking about children being malnourished, last week you talked about our young people who are, there's a big substance misuse in our nation. We are selling the soul of our future. Yes. This is what we see before us. And that's why there's a continuous effort and call for security agents to go after these criminals, these terrorists, so that not only do we safeguard our now in terms of the places and the people that they kill and kidnap, but that we also do well by the future, by safeguarding our children and ensuring that none of them will ever have to go into combat. Now, going on to Sheikh Gumi's story. Yeah, around, okay, they know the terrorists. It's difficult not to believe what he's saying, Oji, because we've often talked about this, that there must be some form of complicity. Yes. It's overt in some cases, like we saw whereby intelligence, or we've seen in cases where intelligence is received and someone within the ranks leaks it. We've seen cases where there's been a repeated call for investigations around the principal actors who called back soldiers based on the fact that terrorists are going to attack the Kebbi school in minutes. We have asked these questions, yet there's a glaring, obvious silence from the government. And so it's difficult to know that, that there is some form of complicity, including them knowing. So the gap between them knowing and the arrest is, why can they not go after these people? What hold these government people by the jugular, whereby they are able to act in a way to save the Nigerian people? These are the questions. And maybe Sheikh Gumi himself has a question to answer. He must know where they are saying, because for you to make assertions like this, so they should use him as a principal witness or a principal link to the terrorists and see how they can find a way. And no negotiations. Only till it has been recommended in the past, it has failed in many instances where it has been employed, and so no negotiations. These are criminals, these are terrorists, and the Nigerian state must be serious about dealing with them and going after them to protect our now, and very importantly, to protect our future. Protect our future. Very well said, Ayo. Very well said. Well, in response to the growing insecurity across northern Nigeria and the country at large, Peter Obi wrote a lengthy post on X on Monday calling out the government. He wrote in part, "Our nation is clearly under siege, and the scale of insecurity is becoming unbearable, spreading widely all over the country, from Nasarawa, Kogi, and Benue. Residents are screaming that terrorists now flock to their farms and forests, disrupting economic activities, forcing entire villages to flee in fear. In Nasarawa's Kadaho area alone, 14,318 civilians are now registered as internally displaced persons. In Oyo State, travelers were abducted in the dead of night along the Kishi-Igbeti road. Their whereabouts are still unknown. In Ondo State, criminals shot at, abducted, and wounded innocent citizens. And in Kebbi State, terrorists are on a rampage, killing officers and citizens, making it the third deadliest attack this month. The wave of terror has now brazenly crept into our nation's capital, the attack in Kabwa, Abuja. Just this week, about 19 citizens were abducted from their homes, including women and children. This is yet another grim reminder that insecurity is no longer distant, but now a norm. The primary responsibility of any government is to secure the lives and property of its citizens. Yet, the response from the government in power to all the incidents has been dead silence, as if Nigerian lives no longer matter. The ruling class are instead devastatingly more preoccupied with how to snatch, grab, and run away with the next election. It is time to restore security, dignity, and hope to every corner of this nation. Well, last week, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu boldly stated that Nigeria will defeat terrorism and banditry despite the recent deadly attacks in Borno State, where over 100 women and children were kidnapped. The president made the statement on Friday, speaking during an interfaith breaking of fast with service chiefs and military heads at the State House in Abuja.
I'm so grateful to all of you, particularly the leadership of the armed forces. You've worked so hard to protect this country from marauders and keep our sovereignty. My sympathy goes to the vice president and the entire country and many people of Borno for the incidents that occurred, and make a call to Zulu to share the pain with him. Freedom, yes, could be difficult and challenging at this period. We appreciate all the people who are facing the challenges of terrorism and banditry. We will win. Nigeria will prevail. Thank you very much.
Well, Dr. Abati, that's the commander-in-chief being optimistic. However, the attacks in Borno State have shaken the nation. Communities have been destroyed, soldiers have been killed, and over 100 women and children remain missing. A vow to defeat terrorism is welcome, but for the families still waiting for their loved ones to come home, words alone will never be enough. On one hand, we've seen Peter Obi, of course, the opposition fiercely condemning the federal government, and of course, in one part of his statement that he did, hail the Nigerian armed forces and also tried to advocate for some sort of highlights on their cause in the field, more attention for their cause in the field. Yes, absolutely. And then here we see the commander-in-chief the armed forces saying that we will defeat terrorism, but Nigerians are waiting to see that day come.
Well, I think Mr. Peter Obi is right on all counts.
Yes.
Because his basic point is that we're focusing more on politics while insecurity is spreading in the country. And the evidence of that is writ large. He cited the example of the attack in Ngoshi in Borno State, but there have been other examples. So when he says the country is under siege from criminal elements, he's right in that regard. And he made the point that politics should not be prioritized over insecurity, because as he pointed out, Section 14 sub 2 of the 1999 Constitution, he made the point that the primary responsibility of government is the security and welfare of the people. You cannot argue with him on that score. Now the president met with security and military chiefs at Iftar the other day. Well, while commending them, he made it clear that they still have a lot more to do. And he used the opportunity to reassure them that he's going to take care of their welfare. More will be provided for them to be able to do their job. And he also used the opportunity to sell his administration by making the point that the economy is stabilizing. But I think that what the average Nigerian will be interested in interacting with military and security chiefs will be how they can do a lot more to make this environment very secure. And then you made a point about the child soldiers. The slogan by UNICEF articulated specifically at a major event in 2014 is children, not soldiers.
Yes.
That these are children, and that was in response to what has been observed in places like Afghanistan, Sudan, South Sudan, Somalia, Liberia, Mozambique, where children are used, and specifically these are children under 18. UNICEF definition is that, children who are under 18 are not supposed to be involved in two activities in the sense in which they are recruited: combat and support services. And that when you do that, you rob them of their childhood, you also expose them to danger, including rape, because some of these child soldiers, they are female. So, but the job of UNICEF is in terms of rehabilitation and reintegration into society. The protocol for the prevention of children's involvement in armed combat of the year 2007 says categorically that if you use children in direct combat or support services, it is a violation of international humanitarian law. And that's why you have groups like the Child Soldiers International, whose campaign, established in 1998, whose campaign is to make sure, that this kind of thing does not happen. Specifically as for the children in northern Nigeria, this is the tragedy of Nigeria. These children, clearly under 18, are supposed to be in school. They are not supposed to be children that are recruited, by terrorists. They are children that should be mobilized and their parents supported to put them in school so that they will be useful to the future of Nigeria. Once upon a time when we were growing up in this country, they would say for their tomorrow, we gave our today. These children who are now involved in combat, we have mortgaged their future. And the blame is on the leadership elite of this country. The same basic point that Mr. Peter Obi was making with regard to insecurity.
Well said. I hope, those 100 women and children, the story we took, I hope for their safe return back home. Well, let's take the story now from Lagos, where actress Sarah Martins has taken to the streets again to cook for the underprivileged, despite the government issuing a strong warning to the Nollywood actress to stop cooking and giving out food in public. Let's take a look.
I can never fail, I can never lose. That's the only life I know. Full of the spirit when I step into the place. That's the only way I go. Yes, I know who I am. I can never fail, I can never lose. That's the only life I know. Full of the spirit when I step into the place. That's the only way I go. I can never fail, I can never lose.
All right, Rufai. Well, the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, in a post on X, stated in part, you were previously cautioned about the same issue last year due to the understanding of its philanthropic intention, and please, I will strongly advise that you desist from carrying out street cooking or similar activities in public spaces in Lagos in order to avoid apprehension and persecution. If you wish to continue your charitable outreach, it should be done through proper channels and in approved locations so that your efforts can support vulnerable people without violating existing laws and constituting environmental nuisance. We expect everyone to be law-abiding in Lagos, just as they would be in any other well-regulated city. And that point about well-regulated city, we did see the story where this Nollywood actress was abroad and she was actually doing the same thing, but I don't think she was doing it. She was here saying abroad is Canada. Canada is abroad. I mean, I did not know that Canada was domestic. But I mean, this is the first time that, I mean, this is not the first time we're seeing this woman doing this again. And then you said she boldly did it in front of the Oba's Palace and she had responded to Tokumo Wahab. But Rufai, your take on this story?
At this point, and this is speaking from somebody that does a lot of charity, this doesn't look like charity to me again. It looks like show off. It looks like deliberate disrespect of the laws of the land. When she was in Canada, did she go cook in the middle of the road in Canada? She couldn't do that. So she's doing it deliberately, and this is part of the show off. I mean, this was the same woman that the top politician or top politician was giving money to. I'm not saying they shouldn't support her, but this has become show off.
The top politician, so you mean the president's son?
Okay, this is the president. So she's the one that actually gave money. So you know what you're doing is violating the laws of the land. You can still give this food, cook the food wherever you're going to cook it, pack it in small packs and bring it to them. They will still receive it. For the life of me, there are people that give more packs of food in a day and they don't violate the law. I mean, I don't want to toot my horn. I give packs of food.
I'm saying you do it.
What I do is that I organize your outreach with what is it called, with people that sell food.
Yeah.
And I can pay hundreds of thousands and say, okay, just give it to people that come to eat here. You don't need to violate the law. So I think she's just taking it overboard. And whatever she says in response, it was in front of the king. I think she's just doing it overboard. And Tokumo Wahab, please put your foot on the ground.
I think that is being meanness, actually.
You know why Tokumo is also being meanness? Because when they go after them now, they will be the one to feel they've also put some public sentiment. Oh, government is this, government is that. Okay. We should say it the way it has to be said. As regards the child soldiers, okay, see, in physics, there's something called Hooke's law. Hooke's law says that once a material is stretched beyond its elastic limits, it never returns to its original size again. That's the law of elasticity. And that's pretty much what is happening to these kids. These kids will never remain the same again. Okay, we are just seeing the next form of bandits for Nigeria for the next 60 years. So we've seen these kids. I can posit that in the next 60, 70 years, bandits and criminality will outlive us in our lifetime. I mean, I don't like to be sentimental about it. And that's exactly what is happening, because you know why? I went to school with child soldiers. Part of those that Obasanjo did, give.
What school was that?
With child soldiers. So Obasanjo brought a lot of them back to Nigerian, university, those in Liberia and the likes and all of that. And the trauma never left a lot of them. So these are the kids you're seeing. If the trauma never even left those that have been rehabilitated, then just imagine these that have not been weaned off this insecurity and this crisis. And the other day I was speaking about the fact that we don't even take a compendium of those that are kidnapped. We're talking about over 100. We're not talking about people in Nigeria generally. So there are many more. So we even need to get a glossary of how many people are in the bushes, are in the den of these criminals, to even start from there in the first place.
Yes, I mean, and we are grateful to the strong opposition voices like Peter Obi, who, would continue to detail this sort of insecurity that we're facing in our country. But I wanted you to quickly touch on Sarah Martins, what she said about, her response to Tokunbo Wahab, and quickly.
Yes, very quick. She just released an apology on her Instagram page to say that, that this is what she usually does. She meets the children. She wanted to reconnect. I'm telling you what she said. She wanted to reconnect with them. They said when she went to the area, they told her that, they missed her cooking with them and all that. So it was a controlled area in front of the king's palace, and she apologized that she will not do it again. She will go and use the charity kitchen.
All right. She will not do it again. Very good. I like that. And please, tell them, Well, all right. Now let's head over to Akwa Ibom State now, where Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, had quite the eventful visit to the state's capital over the weekend, kicking things off with a spirited game of table tennis against Governor Umo Eno at the newly commissioned Arise Senior Citizen Center, a facility designed to provide healthcare, recreation, and social support for elderly citizens in the state, while the two exchanged energetic shots across the table to the delight of onlookers, with the First Lady appearing focused and agile throughout. Let's take a look. Look at the First Lady. It's the first time I've seen her. Well, no winner was declared, but the moment went viral. And the fun didn't stop there. At the 2026 International Women's Day celebrations at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Afrobeat sensation Tenny pushed past security orderlies to reach the VIP section, kneeling before the First Lady and getting both Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Governor Umo Eno to sing along to a hit song, Case. Such a fun moment. For your kids, you know I like to sing. Boy, I hear you singing. Go ahead, preach. You must. You were singing. But God, yes, very entertaining.
I thought that Governor Umo was appropriately very respectful.
Really?
I thereby declare him a very wise man. You know, in a very typical table tennis competition, you will get your opponent to run up and down, to even fall down. But he was very respectful. The way he was playing. So I think he applied wisdom. Because we would not have loved the situation where he would subject our moment to too much work in the name of tennis. But just shows that there is a lighter side to politics. And then, of course, Asoteni, she's an entertainer, and a very good one at that. And the security officers trying to stop her. I mean, she's harmless. She's just lighting up the environment.
Yes.
They too claim they have to do their job. Well,
fantastic. So it's very entertaining. And, kudos to Pastor Umo Eno, the governor of Akwa Ibom State.
For being respectful.
I wanted to talk about the elderly citizens. Dr. Martin, seriously, the main point of the story is that the editorial point is the recreation of it. And I actually did visit that home, so it's great that it's finally launched and the First Lady was there in attendance. These are the sort of centers that we need for our elderly. Our elderly cannot be forgotten. So also very well, kudos to
such a great initiative. And the First Lady said that other states should emulate that.
As well.
We look for elderly ones.
Well done to yes, but we need to sample it. We need to show it. We need to show that it can work across all states. So when they do well, we praise them. And also, yes, it should be replicated. Absolutely. Maintained.
What is wife's idea? She started a pass of patience, and we continued this. So that's saying a lot about him. So well done.
I still want to find out who won, whether it was the First Lady, the table tennis.
The First Lady won.
Well, all right. Kudos to the First Lady of Nigeria and Pastor Umo Eno, Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Now, before we take our good news report, let's highlight this clip posted on social media from the Benin-Asaba Highway, where a man who had previously criticized the expressway returned to the road to praise the ongoing rehabilitation, hailing the Minister of Works, David Mahi, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the progress being made.
You have heard it. What we do here is to bring you updates from all sides. If you do not pay attention to what is going on in the zoo, you might not know how to defend or how to criticize. So that is why each time when we come here, we try to do it the way it's supposed to be. And we will continue to expose the things that are happening. We will continue to bring out the truth and nothing but the truth. We will never allow anything to deter us. So everyone that is watching, wherever you're watching us, I appreciate everyone that have participated in this program. I appreciate everyone that has played one role or the other in this program. And I thank you all for being part of this very program. I say, may Chukwu Kabiam continue to guide and protect every single one of us that is part of this program in any way, in any manner. We shall overcome. No matter the propaganda, the blackmail, the attacks that is coming from right, left, and center, victory definitely will be ours. Thank you so much for joining. We are going to end it here, and tomorrow we will continue this message from where we stop. And before we go, we are still going to take you to some entertaining videos. Let us take that to end the program and see you tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu. Thank you so much for joining. Continue to guide and protect every May Chukwu guide us and protect all of us. See you again tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. there was a nation living in peace and unity. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see a nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna oppress us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of our heroes' blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
With your flag over Africa, welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.